Life is full of great debates. LeBron versus Jordan, does pineapple belong on pizza, and who makes the best 2-ton excavator? Well, in today's video, we're going to put the 4 biggest brands head to head in a series of challenges to see who is the best in the business, because we all know pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. So let's meet the challengers, the ever-popular Kubota KX019-4, a tried and tested Takeuchi TB320, the Japanese-engineered Yanmar SV19VT, and of course a new generation Bobcat E19 or 2 Series. Now this should be a pretty good competition because each of the machines are remarkably close in spec. They've all been fitted with a power coupler except for the Yanmar, which is going to have a tilting bucket. All 4 machines are remarkably similar, with them all coming in and around the same width. The lightest machine is the Kubota, and the heaviest being the Takeuchi. Dig depth between all the rivals is quite similar except for the Yanmar, which leads the way. So with all the machine specs so close, how do you sort the men from the boys? Well, we have devised a series of challenges to measure the machine's strength, their agility, their noise levels, and a fun bonus round for best features to crown our overall winner. And how the scoring works is simple. 3 points for first place, 2 for second, 1 for third, and 0 for whoever comes last. And challenge number 1 couldn't be any easier. It's a pure strength test. Each machine will have 2 opportunities to lift 2 weights, 240 and 360 kilos. Tracks expanded, blade down, max extension. Let's see who wins. Test 1, the Kubota lifting 240 kilos. Let's go. Easy. Test number 2 for the Kubota, 360 kilos. Oh, it's struggling a bit. I don't think it's going to do it. No. Fail for the Kubota at 360 kilos. Up next is the heaviest machine of the group, the Takeuchi. Being over 2 tons and with such a long blade, I'm expecting big things from this machine. And struggling a little bit with the 240 kilos. A little bit of help from the bucket ram. Oh, it just got over the line. Second test for the Takeuchi, 360 kilos. Not sure what's going to happen based off the first test, but let's find out. Don't think it likes it. A little bit of help from the bucket ram. I'm going to call it. Fail for the Takeuchi. Now we're on to machine number 3, the Yanmar, and I've got a few concerns about this one because the boom and the arm are just so heavy. I think it's going to struggle, but let's find out. Oh. It lifted it, but it wouldn't hold it. No, that's a shake of the head from the driver. Yanmar out at 240 kilos. Now, onto our final contestant, the Bobcat E19. Now, ever since its launch, Bobcat have been full of praise for this machine's power and performance. We're going to see if it lives up to expectations. Okay, that does seem pretty easy for it. The Bobcat easily cleared 240. Let's see how we get on at 360. Again, that looks pretty easy. We need to get more weight. Okay, test 1 is complete and the Bobcat is the winner, but just for fun, we're going to see if we can lift 600 kilos. Now that's pretty impressive. The next challenge is going to be called an agility challenge, and it's all about seeing how these 4 machines perform under pressure. We're going to ask them to carry out simultaneous movements by travelling forward in a straight line, slewing 90 degrees left and completing a full grade. From there, slewing 180 degrees right to complete another full grade, and returning them back to centre. And the winner will do it in the fastest time. And it's lights out and away we go with the Bobcat coming off the line first. A little bit like Top Gear, they had the Stig, but we have our own untamed digger driver, Thomas. A lot of hype about this new Bobcat, especially with this new hydraulic system that they launched in Bauma. And if this is ever going to perform, this is really going to be it. And I'm expecting it to move a little bit like a synchronized simmer would. It's been a great start with the 2 levels almost complete. And finally now, just to finish up by putting the bucket down in front of it, a great effort from the Bobcat and a great way to start off this competition. Up next is the formidable Takeuchi. Japanese engineering. I'm expecting big things from this machine, being one of the most popular machines in the market. However, maybe we should have started this competition with the arms going the other way, because that is just a little bit close for comfort versus the Bobcat, and we do not have any budget in this series for damage. Now, This is supposed to be a straight line challenge, but the Takeuchi is moving a little bit like a slalom. Thomas looks like he's having a bit of a challenge, keeping that Takeuchi straight while moving the boom and the arm at the same time. And the distance between that and the Bobcat really is something else. Not the prettiest, but the Takeuchi gets it done. Now, for the machine I've been most intrigued by, the ever popular Kubota KX19. And I've got quite high expectations for this machine, but it's a little bit of a laboured start, and it'll be interesting to see what Thomas thinks, the reason as to that why. And again, a little bit like the Takeuchi, looks to be a real issue keeping this machine in a straight line. And it's interesting, for such a simple test, it's amazing to see the differences that each machine has in completing this task. And dare I say it, the Kubota is really struggling. So much so, we might need to speed this up a bit. And that brings the Kubota to a halt. Maybe it was the pressure got to the Kubota, or arguably in this case, there wasn't enough pressure. And finally, the Yanmar SV19. And with results not having gone its way earlier in the tournament, the Yanmar really does need to pick a big result out of the bag. Now, we're not rating comfort in this series, but if we were, I'm sure Thomas would have a few points to make on this machine versus the other three machines as he's been shaking around inside in the cab. However, the Yanmar is doing a very good job staying in a straight line and a little bit laboured in the movements. But in its defence, the Yanmar does have the longest reach in this particular class at 4.13 metres, which is a pretty impressive feat in such a compact size. It's a very strong finish. As we approach the end, it is neck and neck with the Takeuchi. I'm sure if there was a crowd here, they would be just on their feet as the Yanmar comes to an end. And that wraps up the agility challenge. Bobcat a clear winner in first place, Takeuchi coming in second, Yanmar just grabbing third, and Kubota coming in fourth. Okay, Kubota, we need to have a little bit of a chat. Obviously, the agility challenge did not go according to plan, but there's a very obvious reason as to why. This is the only machine of the four that doesn't have proper tracking pedals. Now, it is an option from Kubota as an aftermarket kit, and Kubota, if you're watching, you need to put it as a standard feature in every machine. We are going to make a little bit of allowance just this one time, and we're going to make the Kubota join third with the Yanmar because it would have been faster if it had fitted. So no operator wants to be in a loud, noisy cab all day. So for our third challenge, we're going to set each machine at max revs, bring in a decibel meter and see which one is the quietest. So we're not rating cabs in this challenge, but every time I've gotten into the Yanmar, I have hit my head off something. So we're going to have to talk about that later. So, noise test. 77.7. So let's go with the Kubota. 79.1. Now we're in the Bobcat. 74.8. 74.8. The Kubota was 79. That can't be right. Wanted to do this test again because the Bobcat was just so much quieter. So version 2, 3, 2, 1. 79.1. That's crazy. Okay, we're back in the Bobcat for the second test. Kubota was 79.1. 74.8. Big win for the Bobcat against the Kubota. And on to our fourth and final machine, the Takeuchi. 77.6. We had planned on doing an additional bonus round where we thought it would be a bit of fun to rate the machines and give extra marks based on some of the additional features that they had. But we realised quite quickly that it wouldn't have been a fair fight, with the Bobcat being the newest machine on the market, with an endless array of coupler options, being clamp ready as standard, having a floating blade, having auto idle, having proper tracking pedals, take no Kubota. So we couldn't give all the marks to Bobcat because we'd just be too biased. And there we have it. After a full day of testing, we have officially crowned our champion, our second place, and also our joint third, which is quite lucky because we had originally planned on scrapping whoever came fourth. But as we all know, it's not just down to the test today, it is down to the relationship with your dealer, or maybe even your colour preference. So if you think the Bobcat is the right machine for you, do feel free to get in touch, and likewise let us know in the comments what machine you want us to test next. For the first time in the UK and Ireland, say hello to the TR60.260 rotary telehandler.